Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another analysis video. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Tonight's request is very much just asking me to explain what is going on in the performance that they have sent me. And it's one of those performances that's been filmed what looks like in a bedroom with a microphone, and this particular video has had 63 million views and it was uploaded 4 years ago. So we will jump into it and see what's going on. So on first viewing of this video by myself, and I hadn't seen this video before, it was very clear to me what was going on. So I'm going to do my best to explain it as clearly as possible and show data on screen as well to help you guys understand. There's a link in the description below to the original video if you want to watch it the whole way through without me interrupting it and jumping into the isolated vocal. Let's get into it. So, quick squig of water, which is, I don't know, it's always risky before singing. If you are going to sing, just in case it goes down the wrong way and then you choke on it and then you can't sing for about 10 or 15 minutes until your throat sorts itself out. But let's get back into it.
Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom.
So, when we come in with the vocal, we've got this absolutely crystal clear vocal, and I'm just going to let that play through again.
Now here you go again, you say you want your freedom.
An ever so slight movement from the mic there, but not dramatic in any way. Now, when we're looking at the pitch monitoring software, you'll start to notice how it seems like we are calibrated to A440.
But who am I to keep it down?
Especially with these held notes, you know, we are being very strict here.
It's only right that you should play the way you feel it.
Especially here when we've got the na 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 na, you know, hitting that pitch. We're absolutely on the line for the duration.
Listen carefully to the sound of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering. And
we've got a bit of movement coming in now. And I've stated in other videos that when there's movement going on with the microphone, it might take a trained ear, but you can start to hear the movement and where the sound is going when you're moving side to side, especially with a condenser mic.
What you had.
And there's a lot of this kind of movement going on here. And if this were live, a producer would say, it sounds like you're moving around when you're singing. Can you just stay in front of the condenser mic because we need to get the quality of the vocal, and don't move around? And the vocal that we're hearing is very much straight down the middle, no movement at all, concentrating on singing. But what we've got here is a lot of movement going on. And here we have a breath that happens, and it's starting clearly away from the microphone, but we hear that breath breathing in. I mean, you won't be able to hear that because I'm away from the mic, but if I went like this, you can now hear me do it because I'm so close to the microphone. But she's not close to the microphone. She's kind of off to the side. But anyway, yeah, if you don't understand what I'm saying here, we've got a pre-recorded vocal. The vocal's not live. This video is very much a performance for the camera. And it's obvious the way that she's looking at the camera because she's not focusing on, you know, her body position, aiming her voice directly into the microphone to get the best sound possible. All of that you don't have to worry about. So that's why it's very much like a music video. But it's just whether people understand this or not, just because of the way that it's been set up and the way that she takes that sip of cranberry juice or whatever it was, I don't know, it looked like that. But before she then starts singing, yeah, I think maybe people will think, oh, she's singing or she's drinking because she's about to sing live, but it's not. And yeah, for me, this is absolutely pitch corrected.
And what you have,
because you can hear the processing kicking in. Oh, and look where we're singing here. We're off to the side of the microphone again.
and what you have,
And this, we haven't heard any change in the vocal clarity, how pristine it is. This voice is absolutely traveling straight into the diaphragm of the microphone, but she's not singing into it. So again, because it's for the camera and she's not doing it live, you can do all of this extra stuff, but you're not necessarily thinking, oh, if you are trying to get away with anything, then you're not necessarily thinking about that because you're getting into the performance, because you're just listening to your own voice back and you're miming along to it.
what you lost. Thunder only happens when it's raining. Players only love you when they're playing. Say
Yeah, that kind of movement, you would absolutely hear that.
women, they will come and they will go. When the
And again, breathing as she's coming away from the microphone, but the sound doesn't move.
rain washes you.
And here, again, the producer in that booth would say, he'd patch himself through to the speaker and say, are you moving? It sounds like you're moving away from the microphone. Just stay in front of the mic. But we're hearing the voice in front of the mic.
Clean you low.
Ooh, and here, really heavy calibration.
You know.
And the interesting thing is, in other videos, when I say about singers having great intervals, often I've mentioned a great interval being, relatively close to where it was previously, but maybe out by 5 cents. But here, the intervals are so spot on that they are to A440 like this on the line, and on the line twice in a row. But we know why that's happened. So in short, this is a studio produced track with, for my money, pitch correction in there, because of just way too much calibration we've got going on, as we've known and seen in previous analysis videos, with the best voices of all time are not this accurate. And the processing sound is always the giveaway as well.
Dreams and have you any dreams you like yourself? Dreams of loneliness, like a heartbeat drives you mad, and the stillness of remembering what you had.
So as we work our way through this, you'll start to see this kind of thing where we've got intervals that are hitting exactly the same pitch and no real variation, but that's just due to the calibration. And then with held notes as well here.
As you clean, you know, you will know, you will know.
Yeah, so here, especially when she went up high, I'm just going to listen to that more carefully.
You'll know, you will.
Yeah, it always sounds weird when you have a large jump, either ascending or descending, and your note ends precisely on A440. An A440 standard pitch equal temperament is what pianos are tuned to, and that's what tuning software is set to by default. And this is what people don't understand, that they just tune their vocals to the lines on screen, not realizing that it's going to be really obvious when you then look at it on a graph like this, which is A440. So if their vocal was just left alone, it wouldn't be calibrated like this to these lines. It's only because it is what is given as the graph on pitch correcting software that people are then thinking, oh right, my voice should be there, but it really shouldn't. I just want to listen to this again.
And the rain washes you clean, you know, you
there are little parts in here. Obviously, I don't have the project to look at, but there are parts that sound like, when you listen to them really carefully, that halfway through, there might be a switch in the comp take.
Ooh, no.
Like halfway through, when you're doing a comp take, it means you're recording something multiple times. So say, for example, this no, that no is a held note. So you might have 3, 4, 5, 6 versions of that last note. And on one version, the first bit might have been more accurate, and on the fourth version, the last part might have been more accurate. So what you do, or at least what sounds like it's been done, is taking the accurate part of the first bit and the accurate part of the second bit, but you hear that tiny switch where it's almost like like the sound has changed halfway through. I mean, you probably got to have reference speakers and to be able to hear it in this kind of detail, but when you do have reference speakers and you turn it up loud, you can start to hear bits that sound like edits. Having said all of this, people, who haven't watched my videos might say, oh, well, that is her natural voice, and she is singing into the microphone and it's not corrected in any way. So because I watched this video, another video got suggested, and it is crowd shot footage of Lainey performing this live, and it's very short, but what I want to do is just play it so that we can have a listen to her live vocal. And as you can see, the guy's right at the front here, so let's have a quick listen.
They're players, only love you with their players. Seven women, they will come and they will.
Oh, and there we have it. So it's because it was a very short video. It might have even been a short on YouTube. But because this popped up, I thought, well, this is definitely, absolutely a live vocal. So it's not like she's faking on the internet and never going out and singing. She's actually going out and doing gigs and performing. And it's not that she can't sing. I've just been asked to point out what is happening in that previous video that's had 63 million views. Because maybe the person who's requesting it thought it was a fully live thing and unedited. But, I mean, again, this really speaks to setting the bar online at a level that is impossible for anyone to reach. When you're calibrating your voice to A440, nobody ever sings there. And when we are looking at voices that are fully live, fully natural like this, I'll let it play again. So in this first part, the G3, we kind of ascended up to it, and now we're between the F sharp 4 and the G4. But you'll notice how now unpitch corrected it looks. Like all of the straight lines suddenly disappear. And again, between notes here. And I always say with the natural voice, you'll get resets all over the place. So if a singer does hit a line, now and again, there'll be sections where they will be between lines and will be, slightly below lines and above lines, flat and sharp. And hopefully you start to get used to the sound of the natural human voice and where it's being placed here, because what I can do is now go back to the YouTube video.
Players only love you when they're playing.
And you start to hear now, after hearing the natural voice, for me it is so obvious that this voice is almost on like train tracks. And now on YouTube.
And what you have, what you lost. Thunder only happens happens when it's raining.
And the live version.
I know it happens when it's raining.
So yeah, I mean, the only difference here is that one voice is tuned and the other voice is natural. So again, I'm not saying in this video that Lainey can't sing. She clearly can, because if you were relying on, you know, tuning your voice, you wouldn't actually go out and sing, because you would know that you're relying on that. But Lainey's just chosen to pre-record the audio and pitch correct it for then the video, and the video is very much like a music video. But I know that people who see videos like this one on YouTube, the way that it's set up, they think that the audio is coming from this, but the audio is not coming from this. You've got to see this like, you know, Michael Jackson's Thriller. You know, you've got to treat this as the same thing, because it is. It's studio recorded and then shooting a video to the studio recorded track and vocals. But anyway, thank you guys for requesting this particular video for tonight. As always, keep those suggestions and requests coming in the comment section below, and let me know what you guys think. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!